Hi, and welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa. Today, our friend I Am for I Am is here to have a very difficult conversation with us. He actually said that he's allowed to rob us. Um, so we'll see what he has to say. I'm welcoming him to the platform, and we'll see where it goes. So give us a like, share the video. We'll be right back with I Am for I Am right after this. Welcome back, O wise and wonderful Emperor of Dendao.
Thank you very much. It's great to be back. I've missed you, Lisa. You
I know.
world traveler. You
Yeah.
escaped the 51st state. How did you do that?
Well, I was by the skin of my teeth, I have to tell you. There were some very cranky ladies at the airport. I was quite surprised. She tried to tell me that Canada does not tariff the US into the 200%, that's not true because that only kicks in after a certain amount, and that's only because Canada's farms are so much smaller than the Americas, and so that doesn't ever actually truly kick in. That never
Oh,
happens.
oh.
Not
Was
true.
she in just someone at the airport, or was she in customs?
She was actually at the little newsstand
At the newsstand.
the at
Nice,
the
nice,
airport, yeah. She
nice.
got offended because I tried to pay with American money. So
No.
yeah. And then I was like,
Oh,
"Why are
yeah.
you mad at me? You live in Canada, but you accept money with English Queen on it, like, you
Yeah.
speak French, like, you don't even know who your country is. What are you talking about? Get
Oh,
your."
Lisa, I'm just glad you escaped. That you didn't get stuck there.
I did escape. Yeah,
Oh, good for you. Good for you.
yeah.
Well, it's I a lot's been going on lately, and if you don't mind, I'm just going to go into what I've been working on, and I've been working on some documents here.
Yeah,
Um,
I was curious. I'm like, "Gosh, I just got back." I thought I was robbed when I was in Canada. A drink there cost almost $30. Like,
oh, and it
oh
wasn't even American booze.
yeah. Yeah, that's right. Mm.
Oh my gosh. Well, anyway, times have been tough for just about everybody, and work is hard. Let's just face it. And I'm a retired guy, but extra money is always a good thing. And to be honest with you, earning money is just a bother. It's kind of cumbersome. So I'm working on this documents here for you, and
Oh,
well, actually, Lisa, this doesn't apply to you because you're my propaganda arm. You're giving me the channel to be able to spew my nonsense and just being an internet guy on the internet or whatever. But so really, this applies to everyone who is watching or is going to watch this.
okay.
Um,
So I'm
so
complicit in your message.
no, you're just
Ready?
exempt, Lisa.
I'm
You're
just
just exempt.
okay.
This doesn't apply to you. So let's just say that you're not part of the extortion or anything of that nature. No, no, no. I just want you to know that I'm just tired of trying to earn a buck, and I figured out a new way to do it. And well, anyway, let me finish this one document here. Yeah, yeah, that's about right. Uh, So it basically says that I'm allowed to rob you. Okay. And again, Lisa, this doesn't apply to you. This applies to everybody that's watching and listening. Oh, I didn't sign it. Let me sign that with black ink here.
A
Um,
Sharpie. That's very
yeah,
official.
a big four. There
Mm,
we go. There. So now it's official. I've signed it. I'm allowed to rob you, and it
no.
clearly states that like I said, just earning money is an inconvenience, and I don't want to do it anymore. So I'm just going to rob you. For those that are watching, Now, wait a minute. Some of you are going to think, well, that's not a very moral thing to do. And who gives me the right to do that? Well, see, I've already thought that through.
Oh, okay.
Um, I hereby grant myself the absolute moral right to steal your stuff. And so I've granted the permission to myself, and it's a moral right. Now, I know this is handwritten, so maybe that bothers some. So I went ahead and made it more official. I hereby grant myself the permission, the absolute moral right to steal your stuff. See, this is my more, you can see my signatures right there. I am for I am. Now that one's in blue ink, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to be a
Nice
stickler.
choice of font. I have to compliment you on your choice of font.
Oh, well, thank you. I want to make it clear and precise, as well as easy for the audience to read. So what I expect is, I expect probably about noon, sometime between noon and 5 p.m. I'm going to go by everybody's house, because I know you're all upstanding citizens. You're going to lay out your valuables in a nice, neatly fashion. I'm going to swing by tomorrow afternoon, inspect it, and decide which stuff I'm going to take, which stuff I'm going to steal. Now, some of you probably are thinking, how can I am for I am come to this conclusion that he can just walk into my house and steal my stuff? Well, it is an inconvenience for me. I will say that. I mean, that I have to go to your place to steal your stuff. But I do want you to understand that, see, I have a group of friends. Some of them are, like attorneys, very well respected. They are from various different states. And we got together and we held a formal meeting about this. And they put together this document and then signed it. And it says, the undersigned hereby grant to I am the absolute moral right to steal your stuff. And you can see
And
there's,
then look, they all agreed.
yes, and it
Wow.
was unanimous. There's my signature down here. So I was part of the esteemed group. Now, some of you are probably going to want a little bit more detailed information about how I have the moral right to steal your stuff, despite that it's all written out here and it's signed. I'm just going to do it. But if you need a formal document, I will post this on the internet. Here's the formal document stating I have the right to steal your stuff. Again, the esteemed colleagues have signed it, and they're very, very well respected in the community and in from various states.
Oh, and then there'll be a website that you can point everybody
Absolutely.
to. Yeah.
Absolutely. When I get around to it. But anyway, I expect all of you to have your items, laid out. Like I said, I'll be around your home between noon and 4 or 5 o'clock, and I'm going to rob you. And I have the moral authority, the moral right, the permission I've granted myself to do just that. Because who wants to work? I don't. And I think this is less work for me anyway.
Yeah. I mean,
Now,
reward with effort is kind of over.
yeah. Well,
stated.
you know what? The more merit that you earn and work for, the more stuff you have, and the more stuff I'm going to steal. Now, I didn't come up with this idea. This idea has been around for a long time. I just decided that it was a bothersome to get more money, and it was just easier to steal. Now, this idea originally came from this little pamphlet here I have. Actually, I have two of them. So I got two of them. One's a little beat up, and I'll give you that one for
Okay,
anyone
you can send me one. Yeah.
But
I want
the nice, neat one I have here, it's the document is titled, some of you will be familiar with this. It's called, the power of the pen on paper, right? The Constitution of the United States. And there's somewhere in here that's, again, just like my documents that, it says I'm allowed to rob you. There's something here. Let me find it. I usually find it easier in my older copy. Oh, here it is. Amendment. They have these things called a bill, like the Bill of Rights in this document, and like a bill before it becomes a law. And then they came up with this fancy term called amendment. Amendment 16. Here it is. The Congress shall have the power to lay and collect taxes on incomes from whatever source derived, without apportionment among the several states, and without regard to any consensus or enumeration. So, yeah, theirs is a little fancy. Now this document, like 200, almost 250 years old, so they've been doing this for a while. Now, this particular amendment goes back to like 1913, so it's over 100 years. I'm just starting. I just put this together, and you saw me sign it and made it official. But their document has been around for a while, and boy, I should have kind of taken note of while they wrote that down. Amendment 16: the Congress shall have the power to lay and collect taxes on incomes. Well, I'm just going to steal your stuff, so I'm not going to worry about your income. So you get whatever your stuff together for me. Now there were books that came out about what they did. Like this one is Who Stole the American Dream? Well, I'm not stealing the American Dream. I'm just stealing your stuff, not yours, Lisa.
Yeah, no.
Then there was this thing called None Dare Call It Conspiracy. This is a nice little book about who controls the world, who runs it, the CFR, and conspiratorial stuff. That's None Dare Call It Conspiracy by Gary Allen. That kind of bred out of this. I guess people didn't like people stealing stuff, and that kind of led to the power elite. I have all these books. Books are powerful. It's pen on paper, right? Gives you all kinds of information. Now I used to be a guy that liked this book called The 5,000-Year Leap, and I've talked about it on your show, Lisa. And that we didn't have one of these for 5,000 years, and we had tyrannical governments like kings and queens and Caesars and emperors and just dictators, and you name it, for 5,000 years, until we had a representative government, a true representative constitutional republic. And they put together this nice little document for us and how they steal our stuff. But then we learned that I guess this document had things like how we can treat other countries. And there's a gentleman who worked for, well, he didn't work directly for the government, but the government paid the company that paid the salary for the government. And he wrote this book. He was an economic guy. And it's Confessions of an Economic Hitman. And he talks about how they are, the people that granted powers here to steal other people's stuff in other countries is what this book's about. Fascinating read, Lisa. I highly recommend it. Well, then, right around the time of that whole constitutional amendment, then the steal your stuff or steal your income came about. Well, we know about this, The Creature from Jekyll Island, and this is look at how thick this book is about the creation of the Federal Reserve. But that's part of this, right? Maybe not. Well, close enough. Anyway, this is it was a new way to steal our stuff, called inflation, for the bankers. I thought it was a good read too, and now I'm not a banker, Lisa. I'm not a banker, but this is what these folks do. Now they some people call them tyrannical, and like books like The Tyranny of the Federal Reserve, but I'm not going to be tyrannical. I'm going to be very polite. I'll be quick. Just all I ask is you lay out your stuff that I'm going to take or steal. I'm going to rob you. Now, some people got upset about, different people or politicians that were elected to office. Now, before I go into that, let me explain something. remember I told you, Lisa, I had some of my powerful friends get together and they signed this document that said, I hereby, grant the power to me, the authority, right?
Mhm.
Well, this this little booklet here about the Constitution talks about, well, the rituals in the swearing in ceremonies, how officials become elected, when they're elected, um, where they can be born or not born, and how old they are, and how many of them can be those elite class. It's all spelled out in here. I don't need that kind of detail for what I'm doing, but that's what these folks did. The thing is, though, I just want to impress upon everybody that you know I'm going to be stealing your stuff so long as I'm on this planet and alive and capable of doing so. But this one is indefinite. As a matter of fact, the great great grandkids are kind of stealing things from other great great grandkids today.
Mm.
But mine expires when I expire. So that's good news for you. Um,
Or for my
but
grandkids.
yeah. Well, not for this one, but for
Okay.
this one, yes, right? Okay, okay. Just so we're clear. And now, like I was saying, there were some politicians that didn't like other politicians, and some got a little radical or kind of mean about it. And then there were like groups within groups that were authorized by these people, and then some that were doing things that weren't authorized, or but people who had authority thought that some people were authorized. And that was well, people have been talking about the JFK assassination here recently, and this is a book called The Final Analysis, um, and it's by David W. Mantic and Jerome R. Corsi, and they have PhDs and doctorates in like X-rays on the whole Kennedy assassination. Fascinating stuff because, well, did you know in the National Archives that I can't show these images, some are kind of graphic here, but some of the X-rays have been actually swapped, altered, changed, and they're not the originals. So say these expert PhD radiologists who got to take a look at those X-rays of the late great JFK, the president. So I don't know if that was authorized for them to do it, but somebody that was given authority in here to do that, I guess maybe that would be the CIA. Isn't that part of, I think the CIA is approved here, right? A
No,
president approved the
not
creation
that
of
I'm
the
aware of.
CIA. I think it was Truman, I believe. He regretted that he signed into law the creation of the CIA, kind of like
Mm.
how Carter signed into law the creation of the Department of Education. But that's apples and oranges, I'm sure. But anyway, I wanted to share with everybody what I've been working on is a document that helps me and to help me give these people more money, because I'm sure I'll have to pay taxes because stealing your stuff, if I claim it as income, then I have to pay taxes on it. So now this booklet, I'm sure, tells us how they spend our money. Well, if we don't like how they spend our money, we can contact our representative and just pick up the phone, call a representative. They'll listen to us. Say, hey, don't spend it over here. I prefer it if you spend it there, or if you got a little extra, why don't you hand it back to me? And
All I've ever
I'll,
gotten back was a courtesy email that said, "Thanks for contacting us."
oh well, that's nice. You
Yeah,
see, they're warm and fuzzy, aren't they? Those letters and emails back.
those
Well,
auto emails.
yeah. So anyway, that's what these folks did was they just put it on paper. They were, I didn't invent this tactic. These people did, but yeah, that's kind of how it works now, I think. And like I said, Lisa, this doesn't apply to you because, well, you've given me this platform to announce my thievery, which is authorized, morally right because I've granted that to myself, and yeah, I'm going to say the right thing to do. Um, so I
You
think
have
that's
others
about it.
encouraging you, other upstanding members of the community agreeing
Yeah.
with you about it.
Yes. Look at those signatures, would you? See?
Yeah, and that
There's
font.
they're prominent people. They're very prominent people. Um,
Mhm,
just like they were 200 almost 250 years ago, they were very
mhm.
prominent people. Um, so without any further ado, I'm going to be busy over the next few days. I'm sure I'm not going to get to everybody. I'm not like it's not like I'm Santa Claus or anything. I can't get down those chimneys and get to every household. But it'll be some work. But
Very busy, very
I can
busy.
getting earning money or working is just too much work nowadays, and the whole Federal Reserve with inflation. My goodness, Lisa, it's an inconvenience to try to earn money now.
I think you're gonna have to change your plan. On January 21st, President Trump made a presidential action that ends DEI and puts us on a system of merit. And he gave a grace period um, that led up to, I believe the 90 days ends about April 21st. And so I think you might have to change your plan.
So I have to steal everything from everybody's stuff before the 90 days are
For
up.
April 21st. Yes.
My goodness, that's a lot of pressure.
You'd
I
have to
don't
get it
know.
done before April 21st.
Lisa, I will just talk to these people, and I'm sure they'll give me an extension. I don't need Trump's extension. I got
Okay.
my own authority here. So
You-
thank you. That's very kind of you to express that. But
Give you that heads up.
I'm going to recognize my own personal authority over theirs.
I
Just
see.
say,
I see.
yeah. So
We'll see how that
now
goes.
I don't know about the chat. I see Thorand is there, Coffee and Steaks, and Tom, and Jim Montgomery, and JB Rants, and Skullcap Savant. Remember, everyone out there, make sure you get your stuff together. Santa Claus I'm like Santa Claus. So tomorrow is Christmas for me. Starts
Howie,
tomorrow.
Jim, Westwood,
Yeah.
Nana.
So I
Ron.
know some people are kind of offended that they don't think that those people that put
Marty.
together the 16th Amendment was evil. Well, we gotta pay to protect our borders. Well, yeah. Well, I gotta pay for you need to put out your stuff so I can have a more comfortable life, a more convenient life to earn money. So I think it's the same thing. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm sure that's what Congress thinks when they, send money to Ukraine, and then, or maybe that's what Zelensky thinks when he comes here with his little Santa Claus bag and asks for money, and that, comes from American taxpayers, and then he takes it back there and then buys another mansion in Miami or whatever. I guess that's what
Well,
he's
I'm
thinking.
gonna look for property in Miami after I'm done with this.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, why not? I mean, maybe I'll take a little bit more than I was originally planning. Yeah,
You might need
I
more
have the authority. You saw
mansion.
it.
Yeah,
You saw it. So they have the authority too. It just works the same way. No different.
I see.
It's just how you spend the money, but that's not in my details. I don't have to explain that to you. I don't have to have representatives that take your phone calls or emails. And anyway, it doesn't work anyway. You get form letters, like you said, Lisa, right? So I'm not going to expend that kind of energy on staff to hear complaints about what stuff I stole.
And if somebody were to push back on you or refuse you, Emperor, you might.
Oh, it has nothing to do with being an emperor. It's just
it's
me.
not to do with Emperor.
No,
it's
no,
the
it's just
authority
me.
that you wrote for yourself.
Yeah, I'm allowed to rob you.
Mm.
5 simple words.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you might send them a threatening letter or.
No. I know that everyone recognized these documents as the absolute moral right to steal. So because they've been adhering to the other document since 1913, right? So our grandparents, our great grandparents, and parents, and us, who are taxpayers, who adhere to that. So I'm no different. So yeah, absolute moral right to steal your stuff. So I got
That's a plan.
that's the plan. So
Okay.
Lisa, I got to show you my um the thumbnail for this. I
Oh, yeah.
these people aren't me. Okay. This right here, these are all convicts. I don't look good in black and white like that stripes. It kind of makes me, adds weight. And I don't, it'd be nice. It's just adding weight around my pecs.
Mhm,
But no. So I choose not to wear that kind of thing. You wouldn't find me in one of these places anyway. I'm above that.
mhm.
Um, but this image right here, I don't know, right underneath the U, this is just a group of men in like 1913, and the one in the middle happened to be the king of thievery back in the day. He was started the whole steal your stuff. Do you recognize who that is? Who's turning his head and laughing, sitting on the chair next to this other gentleman on the
Crazy,
chair?
man.
Yeah,
I
that is Woodrow Wilson.
Is it?
Yeah, and he's laughing and tearing and laughing it up with the gentleman who's not even looking at him, which happens to be the guy on the left here in that real strong, authoritative pose with the suit and everything. The portrait. He was a very powerful congressman from the state of Missouri who became Speaker of the House. And what was his name? I want to say Clam or some Claim or oh my goodness, I forgot his name now. I forgot to write it down. Well, anyway, he was the Speaker of the House in 1913 when a couple of big things happened in 1913, like I don't know, income tax thievery and inflation thievery from the Federal Reserve. Yeah. Yeah. So I thought it would be pretty interesting to kind of match this black and white images and show the contrast of convicts versus politicians. You can see they dress differently, so you can spot the one that's the politician who
Yeah.
is who has the moral and absolute right to steal your stuff
Mhm,
versus the convict who's been arrested, who didn't do it correctly with these types of documents.
mhm.
So anyway, oh, I think that pretty much wraps it up for me. I got busy days laid out ahead of me, and now that you've put a timeline of
I know, you've gotta get on
April
it.
21st,
You're gonna have to
so
rent a jet or something.
yeah, maybe I'll expand it to 8 p.m. So everybody get your stuff ready to go. Um, uh, yeah, yeah, I think that's it. Now, some of you out there are going to watch this and be very offended by my discussion of stealing your stuff on a document and stealing your stuff, well, your income. See, steal and theft, a better name is taxation. Maybe I should have, maybe I should just rewrote mine to say, nah, I don't need to be that formal. We'll just let them use the word taxation and I'll use the word steal your stuff.
Yeah, because they say that the Constitution, so I was taught that the Constitution is based on the Magna Carta, which is, a statement of our or an expression of our God-given rights, but our taxation has nothing to do with is not a gift from God.
No, no.
Or a,
Uh,
or a mandate from God in any
It
way.
would, yeah, exactly. It would be different. Now Jesus said, give unto Caesar what is Caesar's or whatever, but let's back up here just a bit. Think of it this way. Imagine if it was all voluntary and that there wasn't a tax rate, there wasn't a form of taxes, and some people gave and others didn't. Now, the best example is insurance. So Lisa, if you opted for homeowners insurance, let's say that you had your house paid for free and clear, insurance now becomes optional because there's not a loan against it, a mortgage. We know what that means. So there's not a mortgage against your property. So you opt for certain coverage of your home. Maybe you say, well, I'm not going to go with the fire. I'm not going to go with terrorist acts. I'm just going to go with, like maybe, I don't know, an earthquake, a tornado, a flood, or something like that. And there's rider policies that are attached to the general policy, and you opt in for certain things and opt out. Well, when the fire department comes and they look on the list and say, "Well, Lisa, your house is on fire, but you didn't pay for fire insurance, huh? Well, I was voluntary." Well, imagine if taxation was that way. I'm gonna put this much money towards social services and this much money towards Social Security or whatever. But you know what? I don't want this money. I'm gonna give a lot to the military, maybe the Veterans Association, the VA, but I'm not gonna give money towards new aircraft from Boeing and money towards the CIA, and it'd be kind of like a insurance policy, right? And now there's a bunch of marauders coming across the border from Canada. Oh, well, I'm going to put more money towards that, So, but no money to Ukraine, or no money to Gaza, or no money towards, South China Sea fighting pirates or whatever. It'd be kind of different if we had a better say on how we wanted our money being spent, like an insurance policy, a rider
Right.
to the insurance. Fascinating concept or idea.
Even the health insurance thing, when they went in and did that forced healthcare thing, where you had to have health insurance or you got fined every year. Well, so I didn't have health insurance when I was single. And so then I was doing my taxes, and my tax preparer person was like, "Oh, well, so you get fined this $700, whatever." And I was like, "Why? I didn't use the free ER or the Medicaid services or whatever. Why would I get charged for a service I didn't use?" And I don't have health insurance, and I chose not to have health insurance. And I paid out of pocket for then any health care that I had. I took on the burden. So why would I get charged a fine for something for then a service I didn't use? Like, it didn't make any sense. But that was for them to do their Obamacare bullshit or whatever. So
yeah, like you said, the official name is not Obamacare, but that was because it was a pivotal moment when it went before the Supreme Court, and Judge Roberts flipped his vote and called it a tax. And therefore it fell under the 16th Amendment. That's why it was considered a tax, and it's wide open. They can levy it on, it's not just income. It's, whatever they want to call it. And therefore the Obamacare fell as a tax and became approved and stamped, and the legal moral authority from the Supreme Court justices said it's a tax. And there you have it.
And all of a sudden,
what's the
you
chat
don't
say?
get a say in your own healthcare.
So does the chat, are they getting their stuff ready? Lisa, I don't see anyone saying that they're getting their stuff ready.
Jim Montgomery said, "Come on, y'all, do your civic duty." He's being a good, obedient servant.
Oh, is he?
Wink, wink.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wink, wink.
Wow. Cool. Oh, and look at Nana. Crypto Nana says you can have a cookie jar.
Yeah.
Wow.
She has a lot of cookie jar.
Well, just tell her that I like cookies, and I expect her to. I'll come to her house last because I expect them all full of cookies. Chocolate chips, one of my favorite.
Okay.
Now that I'm not on keto, which I should be because sugar kills, I'll go ahead and go with the cookie jars full of cookies. Who else has got some nice, valuable stuff? Oh, wow. JB Rant says, protect this channel. Truths are said free. I love it. Oh, wow. JB Rants, thank you very much. Protect this channel. Well, JB Rants, I tell you what, you only need to protect some of your stuff. Unless you provide more comments here that are nice. Then maybe I'll just stop by and say hello. Come on, y'all, do your civic duty. Boy, isn't that true? Oh, see, Jim Montgomery, I'm going to come to your house first, shake your hand, and then steal your stuff. Oh, Crypto Nana says insurance is extortion. Wow.
She's
Wow.
not wrong.
Wow. How about that? History of the World, Part 2. Thuran. Wow. I love it. I love it. Lisa, this has been fun, but I got to get up early. I got a lot of traveling to do.
A lot of collecting to do tomorrow.
Yeah. Is there any other news that's taxation news that I should think about or consider, or it doesn't really apply to me anymore, right? Because I got my own authorities.
I guess you have your own moral high ground to stand on. So
yeah,
just make up your own rules.
That's what they did. Why not I? Now, see, that's what we've just gone through here tonight is, I've always talked about agorism and agorism, however you want to call it, is, the light side is here's your solutions. The light side is, boycotts and spending your money where you want to spend it, kind of like the idea of I'm going to spend it here and not there and here and not there on the budget. But more, it's about not feeding the beast and starving the beast, counter economics. And that's where that agorism has a portion of it that's anarchy or anarchism. And it's not the guys with the black masks and the Molotov cocktails and violent. Agorism is a very peaceful movement. It's using black and gray markets to starve the state. And that's what I believe in, because I just firmly believe that having been part of the system from a state level, you can't vote hard enough to make a change. That's my personal opinion. And so I want to educate people on other alternatives or point out how much really is there a difference between these two, So it's hard truths for some people to swallow and hard pills to take, but we can beat this thing if we build more parallel systems, more parallel builds, use crypto. And boy, I tell you, Lisa, you and Kim Westwood,
Clint Westwood.
Clint Westwood. I'm horrible with names. I'm so sorry. Now I've been disinvited.
No, you're always invited.
So anyway, you folks are very articulate when it comes to, exit the casino. And that's what it is. That's really what it is. And we can do a little bit, buy some eggs from your local person down the street that's growing house chickens, or homeschool. Those are the heroes. Don't send your kids to indoctrination school or, these kinds of things.
Well, and like you're saying, build the parallel systems. That's also about building community. And that's one of the things I love, our live chat community. Start a small, as you meet people in the live chat, send a DM, start a community, start a small chat group.
Yep. No. You're freezing. Uh-oh, Lisa. Well, now that I've controlled the internet and I've frozen Lisa, and I'm going to continue to talk until she'll be back. She'll be back in a little bit. No, well, now I can say anything I want to say because she's not here, but I'm not going to do that. Just kidding. Last thing I would like to mention to everybody is, if I'm doing my best to be at the meetup at Westwoods in June, and I look forward to seeing everybody over there at Westwoods. Looking forward to that. So, there you go. You froze up, and so I was filling in.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad. Peer-to-peer is the answer. Look for community. Yes, join us this June at the meetup in Metamora, Illinois. Go to clintwestwood.net for more information on that. We'll be looking forward to seeing everybody there. So you guys take care. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. See you tomorrow.